45 breaks a couple of tackles. And look at him go! And look at him go! He could go all the way!
Welcome to training.
Great job, Jennifer.
Awesome testimony, Jennifer. Thank you. And congrats on all your success.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around for training. We believe this training, as always, is going to be the best training you've ever heard your entire life. So thanks for staying on. Yep, that's right. I'm not over-promoting it or overselling it at all. Okay. So a couple things to start off. theacnteam.com. Go there. Resources, as you well know. And sign up for team membership. It's as simple as giving me all your important information and data. And then once you've done that, remember the email and password that you use to sign up for team membership is going to be the same email and password that you use to log into the Team University app. You can scroll down on theacnteam.com. There are download links there. We are in the App Store. It's official. You guys can now say that you know somebody who has an app in the App Store. I know you've been waiting to add that to something that, impresses your friends and family at a dinner party, because all of you guys go to dinner parties. So when you're in the app, take a look around, explore on the home section. You're going to find a lot of great stuff. As a reminder, for those of you that are IBOs, take a look around. That stuff is there for a reason. Know where it is. Get an idea for the lay of the land. The events section. By the way, guys, I added the Thursday Impact Health training to the events section.
Yeah,
so for those of you
on, when Megan and Ryan were on, right? So how they do it, I don't know if you guys remember, this is going to be for the olden day people. Do you remember? I think it was Jared and Pam and Richard, I think, and they were doing Zoom meetings with an X, but doing them exclusively for Zoom, right? Right when all the stuff was happening with the energy market. So with Impact, that's what those meetings are. They don't go through the whole ACM presentation. The guests are invited as finding out about Impact. So go on, kind of see what it's like, because as you guys are trying through social media and stuff to get your business into America, you want to make sure that you can plug them into that meeting. And Megan and Ryan said go for it. So it's really awesome. That's on Thursday nights.
As all of you are expanding to America. Now, also logging into the Team University app, click on University, and then the top left, that's where you can log in. And as you produce in your ACN business, that's going to open up more courses and classes and opportunities to learn. When somebody new joins the team, they get access to the new IBO training. And then once they're qualified, they'll open up the service training and team building. And then once their ETL, its leadership and regional coordinator opens up, guess what, Jordanna?
What?
That's right, the RC section. So, as also a reminder, we have a brand new Impact Health Sharing course. Comment in the chat. Have any of you guys taken the course, looked at the course? Have any of you guys opened the course?
Is anyone planning to look at the course?
Is anyone just kind of thinking about one day maybe taking the course? Comment in the chat regardless. I'd appreciate it. Great. Doug, awesome. Glad. That's great. Great, Jennifer. Okay. Awesome. Started it several times. Great.
Okay, Carmen's going to in 2 weeks. I'm going to text you on your holiday, Carmen. Just kidding.
Okay.
Mom and Dad, good job, Timmy and Sharon. David is very interested in taking the course. Awesome. And you guys, again, the reason is like me and Tom too, right? We all know that impact and you hear about it. So again, just a quick recap. Zoom Energy is 99.9% of any Canadian RVP and SVP. That's our entire business. Okay. Impact is 10 times more billable volume than Zoom. Zoom is only in Alberta, and that's what every Canadian RVP and SVP has built their business on. Impact is pretty much every state. There is hundreds of millions of people that can be your customer. Since it's something we don't understand as Canadians, we always kind of like, you knew about it, but not really. We would ask a few people we knew in America, but didn't really ever. Anyways, so when Dom then actually did a deep dive, since we now have an awesome IBO in Texas.
Okay, look at that. Doug's got the speed run done.
Oh, good job.
Less than an hour. Beat that, y'all. Less than an hour.
Good job,
Doug.
So you guys, so go and take it.
He was on a treadmill while he was doing it too. He was jogging on a treadmill
was.
while he was doing it.
Okay, because you guys, it's an easy way. It's either it works. It's either it's for them or it's not, right? So just be confident. Go in there, learn it, so you understand all the lingo and stuff too. So
also in the chat, David said, my good friend and Zoom customer contacted me the other day because he noticed his Zoom coin increased by 40,000. I said, that is your renewal bonus. Enjoy. He is a very happy customer.
Awesome.
Now, with David's comment, I want to remind you guys.
Thanks for sharing, David.
Put great comments and positivity on the team WhatsApp thread. You know, we don't always talk about this all the time, but on our team WhatsApp thread, post stuff on this. Post stuff on there, wins of the week, positivity, good things that are going on in your business. I want to remind you to do that. I know sometimes we always got to do this reminder every once in a while when it kind of quiets down. Here's one thing, Jordanna. Listen,
just wait.
We always want to be real with you guys. We don't want our WhatsApp chat to just be a list of events with a poster and a poster and a poster and another meeting.
Yeah,
and then us being like, you got to be on the meeting. We want there to be a little bit of dialogue, and
but even on
we want it to be natural.
But even on this meeting, can I do an audible?
Yeah, do an audible.
Lynn, can you unmute Lynn? Because those who missed
I gotta allow her. Should I allow her, guys?
At the end, right? We're always like, whoever has questions, stick around. And then Lynn had this awesome testimony, but there wasn't that many of us left on the call after. So if you guys have a good testimony, like let's do them during training too. So Lynn, can you share what you shared with us all last time after training?
That was a whole week ago. You want me to remember that? I'm trying to think what it was that
Oh, your customer that you followed up with for like 2 years?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I had a meeting with another customer just, a possible customer just the other day. And she is a solar customer. Anyways, this customer of mine it was a referral that I was trying to get for the last 2 years, decided that he was going to go solar. And so he never sent me his bills, but it was his buddy who had referred him to me. I talked to him and everything, but he just never sent them. So I thought, okay, fine. So this year, finally, he decided he was going to go solar. Somebody came to the door, he signed up, and his buddy was a little bit perturbed, I guess, but it's his decision what he wants to do with his money. But we did say you will never get it back. And even this person I was talking to just 2 days ago said the same thing. They have solar and they're not making enough money to even pay it back. So you will not make your money back. It's just too expensive right now. So he, I guess, kind of thought about it. He had enough time to cancel the contract before the time was up. Canceled it, and I got him as a customer, and he was with, I think, Just Energy or one of the other ones that was no longer there, and he was paying like $7 a gigajoule for his gas. That's crazy. $5.49 a gigajoule, and then the green portion of it was like $2.50. That was outrageous. Anyways, yes, have them as both gas and electricity.
So awesome.
Well,
and the thing too is like, again, so in the last, right, since when she first approached him, he was a referral, right? So you can only follow up so much. But guess what? Lynn was still here, and she went and built a big business. And when the customer was ready, knew to reach out to the energy expert, right? So you guys just like, when you have good testimonies, and just know that like, if somebody, even if you can bring them value or they see the business, they want to be an IBO, they're like, yes, like you want to get your webpage up and running today. They're like, not right now. It doesn't mean a no. It just means, right, follow up. And when the timing is right for whatever reason in their life, you want to still be here and be excited. So you are the person they contact to be your customer and or to get their business up and running. So good job.
And I do want to say one more thing that I know that Chris had mentioned on the app the other day that he was phoning all of his customers last Saturday. I was doing the same thing. And you have to do that because a lot of times the customers are busy and they're forgetting and they're thanking me for it. So this way, you get them then all signed up. Others have already signed up on their own. So it was great, but I still followed up with them. So
that's an awesome tip, Lynn. And just on Lynn's subject of solar energy, just a reminder, if you go to the acnteam.com in the top right, you click on blog. Under Zoom Energy, we have got in the blog section here, there are some great articles here on... I'll go to all posts. Okay. I'm going to scroll down. We have a blog article here that's on solar. Okay. 8 reasons why you should not get solar panels as a northern climate individual. This was actually an entire town in Calgary that was made to be solar. So they were going to do a green project. The whole town collapsed and has to be replaced and redone. So the whole solar system collapsed because it can't support anybody. So this is a great article on that. And then there's more articles in the blog talking about solar. And then there's another article that I have, here. Slash your electric bill, solar panels versus Zoom Energy Power Up promotion. So just like Lynn is saying, if you've got customers who are like, oh, solar will pay for itself, this is a blog entry that explains Power Up is a way better way to pay for your energy bill than solar, and it's free, and there's no upfront cost, and no loan, and.
Yeah.
So there's great entries like that. Also, by the way...
Wait, no, stop there. So you guys, like, again, when you're talking to a customer in IBO, you have to figure out like why ACN would work for them. You know the big picture, but for them in the short term when they first see it. So if that is someone talking about solar panels, that means that free would be something that's important to them. So when you're like, hey, you know what? There's a business attached to this. And just so you know, if you refer 12 customers on Zoom, it's free. Because you already know, they just told you that's something that's important to them. So you can use that to help close them as an IBO.
You can also access the blog section now from the app in the chat section here. So in the chat section, you can also access the blog and those blog entries if you're looking for them. Wow, that's a lot of extra information. Let's move on, guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dingo Blue.
Right now, someone in your phone contacts is buying a coffee. Someone else just got a notification that their monthly subscription renewed. The average person taps their card more than 30 times a month and auto-pays nearly a dozen subscriptions. These are regular habits that lead to daily and monthly spending. But what if every single one of those microtransactions paid you? Introducing Dingo Blue, a powerful financial technology platform built for the way people actually live today. Powered by the ACN direct sales infrastructure, Dingo Blue gives your network a frictionless mobile account. 16.6 trillion. That's how much money is sitting in checking and savings accounts across the United States right now. Now, imagine getting paid when your customers simply do what they're already doing every day. When they keep a balance in their savings and checking accounts, you earn every single month a small percentage of what is in those accounts. When they tap their card for groceries, you earn. When they fill up their tank, pay their bills, grab a coffee, book a trip, or shop online, you earn. Every swipe, every purchase, every month. Every transaction creates another powerful opportunity to earn income through everyday purchases people are already making. Bills, gas, online checkouts, every swipe creates another opportunity. Dingo Blue aggregates those micro percentages, building a compounding residual pipeline directly to you. You acquire the customer once, you monetize their lifestyle indefinitely. No legacy fees, total transparency. Banking services are provided securely by our licensed FDIC-insured partner bank, giving your network institutional-grade protection. Stop funding someone else's success. Start creating your own. Tap into your pre-approved marketing toolkit, connect with your network, and launch your Dingo Blue engine now.
You guys, we are literally, it's like 4 weeks away. Okay. So again, be intentional. Understand the provider of last resort. That training is in the app now. So that's for Texas and also impact. So we're being intentional to help you guys start to try to get your businesses growing into America before this launches. Obviously, Dingo Blue is going to be a very simple service, but you don't have to wait until September to do that.
get into the United States. So who do you know in America? Who do you know in America? Who do you know? Ask people if they have connections or contacts in the United States. It's going to be awesome. Okay.
U.S. Yeah, America in September, third week of September, and then when the launch goes smooth and beautiful and perfect, it'll be first quarter 2027 for Canada. All
right. Milo update. So you may have gotten this email. I'm just letting you guys know. With Milo, we will be doing, or they've added the ability to add additional phone protection for $9.99 a month per device. So I'm going to jump to the internet here. With Milo protection, you can get let me jump over here so you guys can see what I'm saying.
Oh, sorry.
All right, when you click on Milo, there's 2 plans. There we go. The single phone and the single phone protect and home bundle. So this is 10 devices, but only 1 cell phone. So $29.99, 10 devices, 1 cell phone. Now, Milo just released that you're going to be able to add 4 additional smartphones to this plan for $9.99 each. Now, it's not extra customer points and it's not extra commission. The $9.99, we wanted it and they wanted it so cheap, which I agree with, just so cheap that you can just add the phone.
Because I'm sure you guys might have had customers that didn't get it yet because they're like, well, if I can only do 1 phone and, if they don't have kids that game or husbands that game or whatever, I guess girls could game too, right? It didn't really make sense for them to get it if they could only do 1 cell phone. So
this is much cheaper than Apple Care.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get Apple Care, if you have 5 cell phones in your home, Apple Care for 5 cell phones is like crazy. So this is way cheaper and will save a family money. So just letting you know that it's aware and that you are able. Wow, it's already trying to chat with me over here in the corner. Okay, moving on. That's simple. That's in your back office. Go check it out. If you want more information, that's all in your back office under products. All right, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about presenting. So that's one of the things we wanted to leave you guys with is a practical take home for today. And I don't have any slides because I've kind of written down here 7 things that I want to talk about to help you guys become better presenters. And it's an important part of your ACN business if you want to make good money. If you want to make 4-figure income consistently or more, then presenting is going to need to be a skill that you learn. So it's also one of the things that holds people back a lot of times. And before we talk about it at all, I want to preface this by saying, if you need help with a presentation, this training is not because we don't want to present for you guys and we don't want to help you.
Correct.
We love helping you. We want to present anytime you need us. And we never, ever, ever want you guys to be afraid to text any RVP or RD on our team because you think you should be presenting, but you're not ready yet.
And just know, if you text your regional director or you are a regional director, you text your RVP, and like people are not scared to text us, be like, hey, Dom and Jordanna, are you guys free to do it? Majority of the time, you guys were free to do it because we do have so many people, right, that do handle their own meetings. So we want to be very clear. This is not so we can be
if
like,
you need help,
we're not. No,
you need to ask. Please ask.
Shout out to Jen. So her and Dom did an awesome meeting on Saturday. You did awesome. But so again, this is our house. We don't even have to change our bottoms. We just put on a top. We're good to go.
TMI,
okay?
TMI. All right. So think about it this way. I was trying to think of an analogy, but I think if I got you to comment in the chat who wants to make more money in their ACN business, I think you guys would probably say yes. Feel free to say yes if you want, but I think I know what the answer. I think I know what the answer is. Now, the way I think of it is like more money in your ACN business is like a nice juicy red apple hanging on a tree. And you're standing on the ground and you're like, I want that apple. It's like you're in your ACN business and you're like, I want to make more money. I want that apple. And Jordanna and I and other RVPs are off to the side saying, get a ladder. Here's a ladder. And then someone might say, I really want that apple. And then our reply is, get a ladder. And you might say, man, I really want that apple. And our reply is like, hey, you really need a ladder to get it. So that's the way that presenting is. You know, if you're like, I want to make a 4-figure income, I know Jordanna and I are sometimes like a broken record on this subject. We're like, you got to know how to present. You got to learn how to present. You guys got to be presenting. What we're trying to tell you is we've been doing this for a long time, and there's certain skill sets that you just have to learn if you want to get to a new level in your business.
And so again,
and one of those is presenting.
Yeah, so there's caveats. We get it. If you're not ready, of course you always have us. But
please call us. We're here to help.
Okay, but Jared, Dom, and Jordanna, when we got started in this business, like we did one business before this, right? When Jared got started, he had to learn how to present because he doesn't have an active upline that was like that's here to help him. Dom and Jordanna, even in ACN, love Simon. Like he was at that point. You think he's going to sit down and do like a one-on-one? We were fine to do it, but our first experience network marketing, we had no one to present. We had to fumble. We had to do it. Do you know how many people we like? So that's why when we look back, we're like, imagine when we started our career in direct sales. If we had a Dom and Jordanna to present for us, we're like, our results would have been different. So we understand if you're new or you're like, I really suck at speaking. Well, okay, we have a million things to teach you how to do that. Dom's first meeting that he did.
Yeah, tell the story.
He was so
We
bad.
always tell the story.
I invited my friends, okay? He was so bad, and then he dropped. We used to like the flip kind of slide. He dropped.
By the way,
them
there was
all.
hold on. There's no cell phones or computers, right? So we had to print off the presentation on a piece of paper, laminate it, and we put it in a coil binder. So I'm about to present. I open the coil binder to start my presentation.
He couldn't speak.
The coils open up, and all the slides fly out of the binder, and they all fly on the floor.
It was so bad.
There's like 10 of our friends in the room.
No, not yours. Mine. So guess what I did?
That's right.
Done. I canceled the meeting. You guys want to play cards? And we played card games all night. Because I was like, if I show them this, like, so you guys, we want you to understand, we are not saying don't use us. But if you talk to a Jared, if you talk to somebody who does not have, like, you guys don't know how, like, so use your upline if you have an upline. But the reason why some of us,
yes,
right?
Doug, it was very funny.
Like Jared presents nationwide. Jared's not scared. If you told him last second to get on a stage with 2,000 people, Jared can do it. Why? Because he had to, right? So it's that balance of like, where like, be grateful you have a system and you have a team, but then you have to be a big boy and a big girl. And like I'm saying, climb up the ladder and get the apple because it will help you with your business.
Okay.
That's the disclaimer. Let's go.
If you want to take notes, if you wanted 7 of my top tips for presenting, here's number one. Number one, download the presentation.
Don't put your hand up.
Download the presentation.
You'd be surprised how many people.
You would be shocked at how many people don't even have the presentation. They're not prepared.
$1 million business that requires you to read 8 slides, and some people might not have
download
the
the presentation.
Okay.
Number 2, open it and practice.
What, Tom? Come on.
I know. These are big, but you'd be shocked if I canvassed how many of you guys have the current presentation and have opened it and practiced. You would be shocked at how many people have said, I plan to, I'm going to get to it. I know I should, right? Okay. Remember, apple, you want the apple. We're trying to get you the apple. We're trying to show you the ladder. The ladder's here. Okay. Okay. Number 3. So number 2 is open it and practice. And what I mean by that is you need to know how to open up PowerPoint or Keynote and press play on your computer or your phone. So one of the other big hurdles is technology for people presenting. They literally don't know how to use just that software. And
that's a
real
listen,
that's okay. It's not a big, I had to learn, we all had to learn just where the button is, where's play, where's that. How many of you guys remember when COVID happened? Those of you that were on our team when COVID was happening and we first got locked down, do you guys remember being Zoom certified? How many of you guys remember that?
We made you all put the star by your name. That's
remember putting the star? Comment in the chat, being Zoom certified. Okay.
Zoom with the Z. How to use
Zoom
technology.
Webinar certified, right? Because we were no one knew how to use Zoom Webinar, so we were teaching people how to use Zoom Webinar. You got to learn how to use Keynote. There's lots of tutorials online. Just go on YouTube and Google search, how do I use Keynote? How do I use PowerPoint? Okay. So number 3, you need to practice on a Zoom webinar. So what you guys need to do, if you've never shared, some of you have never shared your screen before. So here's an easy way to do it. Some of you you've attended hundreds of Zoom webinars, but you've never hosted your own Zoom webinar. So Here's a simple hack. Use your computer to open up Zoom webinar. Then take the invite link and send it to yourself and join with your cell phone. Put some headphones in, okay? Join with your cell phone. And then you're going to be able to see yourself on your screen, and you're going to be able to see what you're sharing. So when you share your screen on your computer, your cell phone is going to be like the pretend guest. Does that make sense, everybody? So it's a really easy way for you to figure out how to do a Zoom webinar and share your screen and not fumble through it with a potential guest. Make sense? Don't think that needs more explanation.
Also, for those of you that, right, have like your cell phone or an iPad or a tablet, right, you can have them on your phone as like a PDF or however you want to do it, right? But make sure so like for some of you who maybe go to like BNIs or you do different stuff where it's going to be on the fly and you'll just pull out your phone. So just have it just like the physical PDF, just the pictures of an updated slides for August, okay?
And we're going through these in baby steps because I want you guys to, again, going back to our analogy with the apple, this is like rungs of a ladder. I just need you guys to just take the first step. Step on the first rung, step on the next rung, download it, do a presentation, practice. Okay, here's number 4. Step number 4. Present to someone in person. So I want you guys to find a family member, a friend, acquaintance, a business partner.
Sharon, can you unmute for a second? Do you remember when you were practicing to present and you invited somebody out to lunch? Can you tell that story?
Oh, Diane Detty.
Oh, geez.
So she was a really good friend, and we did children's church together. And so I told her I started a new business. I needed to practice, and invited her out to lunch, and she joined my team. It was so fun.
Tricked her.
But she literally was someone who like loved my mom, and my mom was like, look, I'm going to do a business but she's like, I need to like practice live with somebody who does not know what this business is. And she's like, it'll be fun to catch up. And then they went through. So it's not to like trick people, but she literally did that because when it is right, when you can practice in your car or in front of the mirror, but then when you say it in front of a human, it is a bit different. So if you have that, person you can present to or like do it to like a family member because they can be super nice.
Spouse, sibling,
the hardest,
find someone.
right?
You got to present to a warm body.
Yeah.
You got to just break the seal. Find one person, just get it out of the way, okay? Here's number 5. Don't read a script. Never, 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 ever, ever, please never, don't ever read a script.
Just wait. But what you can do is you can memorize.
Yes.
Okay. So if something think of like an actor, right? If like a bad actor is because they didn't remember their lines and they are still reading the right, like they probably hit cut and then they did it. When you have something memorized, then you can do the right you can move the right inflections in your voice and stuff. So if you listen to me and Dom, or you pick out like Richard or Jared or Pam or Sharon, right? People who like you hear Lisa when you hear present all the time.
Read what's on the slides.
Yeah.
Just like Jared said. Read what's on the slides. You don't need a script. It's just right on the slide, okay?
And you guys, here's the thing. I understand what we get from people is like, but what if they are like an ace and I like mumble over it, I don't do good. I promise you, whoever would have shown Dom and I the business, because we already understood direct sales, and we would have just seen the ACN slides, like to Jared's point, there's enough information on the slides that if this person is an ace in direct sales, is a business person, they get it. They're not even listening to what you're saying anyways. Okay. So you're not that special. It's in life, you are special and God loves you very much. When it comes to presenting, just keep it simple. Read the slides. You can't make someone join or not join, as long as you stick to the slides and don't be weird.
Okay. Number 6. Your job when you're presenting, now we're getting into like something that I think separates the average, below average presenters from the people that actually make money presenting. And it's what they believe their job is as a presenter.
Yep.
The average and below average presenters believe their job is to be informative and knowledgeable. The above average presenters know that their job is to be likable and leave the person excited about the opportunity. The above average presenters know a statistical fact. 80% of the data that you tell them during a presentation, they forgot 1 minute after the presentation. They don't know the comp plan.
Literally.
They don't even know the acronym. If you're like, what's the acronym of the company? They're like, ABC, ANC, I don't know. They don't even know. They don't even know. So the best presenters that make money, what they know is that your job is to be likable during the presentation. So here's the funny thing about this concept, this mindset shift. The below average presenters think their job is to be knowledgeable. So guess what they do? Their face and body language becomes all of a sudden serious,
super professional.
They almost barely smile. They're short. They don't there's no voice inflection. There's no happiness. They're there to be what they believe is the center of all knowledge for ACN, which in their minds they see as like a professor of ACN. And guess what the guest is thinking? Gosh, this person's boring. I don't want to do. I got to deal with this every day for the rest. No. The presenters that make money know the opposite. Your job is to be likable, have fun, crack jokes, connect, and here's the biggest key is to leave them excited about something in the business. And when I mean excited about something, what I mean is I'm looking for the person's eyes. So when I'm presenting one-on-one, and that's why even when I do one-on-one with Zoom, I ask them to show their video because I'm looking for their eyes. And what I'm looking for is their eyes and their face and their smile, because what I'm looking for is where their body language changes.
Yep.
Because here's how it'll go. It'll go talk, history of the company, talk, and then we'll say free energy usage. And then all of a sudden, you guys have seen it happen. Their eyes go, what? Free energy usage? Boom, I got him excited about something. So when you see their eyes change, don't be the robot automaton that moves on to the next data point. Stay there and be like, I know, isn't that exciting? How awesome is that? Imagine how much you could save. Drive that emotion higher and then move on to the next thing. If you don't see their face change about a mortgage and 812, it's probably because they're renting and they don't need a mortgage. Not a bad thing, but don't belabor the point. See, what bad presenters do is they present the same way to every person. They say the same 5 things about 812, 5 things about Zoom, and what you're doing is you're wasting time again on 812 when they don't have a mortgage, but they're looking for free energy. So, or they may know all their friends are in the US. They just moved from the US to Alberta. They used to live in Texas, and you say impact and they're blowing up. So instead of you focusing on, TELUS services, which they don't need, start focusing on AT&T and start focusing on Flash Mobile. So look for the eyes, look for the mouth, look for the change in their body language. And when you see that, you're doing your job as a presenter.
Yeah, and that's why
I shorten certain things and I lengthen other things. You have to be a little bit more fluid. Your job, again, is to connect. You want them walking away from that presentation thinking 2 things. Number 1, I like that person and I want to work with them. The majority of people quit jobs because they hate who they work with. They don't like who they work with.
Yeah.
They don't quit.
And you guys, we've been we've done like a million presentations. I can't even think of one response that was like super dramatic. There's like maybe 2 or 3 over our 13 years of doing presentations for like a ton of people, not our personals, a ton of people. Nobody ever says this is a stupid idea. ACN is a direct sales company like no other. It's just them. They don't know if they can do it or if they want to. So that's completely different than you have, so that's why when Jared's just stick to the sides, you guys, the information, you don't have to oversell ACN. You don't have to hype ACN. But what you do need to do is you need to connect to that person. Now you might be like, yeah, but on Wednesdays, like you just said, or on the Tuesdays or the Canada Wide on Saturdays, I kind of know which presenter says what. Yeah, because at those ones, that's a level of you have different people inviting in. There could be a stay-at-home mom. There could be a stay-at-home dad. There could be a construction worker. There could be a teacher. There could be a business owner. There could be a new immigrant to Canada, right? So we just have to all keep it like that. But when we're doing a one-on-one, or let's say a new IBO and they invite 5 friends, it's going to be like Dom said, like you ebb and flow a little bit to the people because you don't just want to be talking at them, okay? But we want you guys to understand the biggest thing is that in as long as you stick to the slides and you know the concept of each slide, right? Slide number 1 is what? The credibility of the company. It's 33 years old, okay? So just hit those, the DSA, even if you don't know what that means, or A+ rating, the Better Business Bureau. When it comes to the services, just make sure they understand they're essential. When it comes to the marketing, That's a huge thing to understand, that like we don't put money in like advertising. The price of the company, every business costs money. $30 a month is insane for what you get. Then break down the services, how you get paid the bonuses. Building a team, you'll be able to tell if they lean more to like, I don't want to recruit though, then you don't go heavy on that. And then you're done, wrap it up. Okay. So, but I want you guys to understand though, is like you can do this. And the first time you do it, you might not be super awesome. But guess what? All you guys who have more customers than anybody in both countries with customers, you guys might not have been perfect at that too, but it didn't take very long for you guys to become experts at customer gathering and your confidence and following up and doing all that. Presenting, you can literally get to the same thing, and it is in a pretty quick period of time once you start. And the building teams part of our business, if you are not doing it, you are missing out on like for yourself what it feels like when you show someone ACN and you see hope rise up inside of them. You can see it, and they're like, I got a shot. You guys, some people have never had a shot, and they're like, I can do this. Like, you're missing that emotional part of ACN where, like, not to be dramatic, but like, you're giving people a way that if they want, they can literally change their life. Like, do you guys understand? If they want, they can build to SVP, and they can be the next regional director. They can be the next Jared Estrin. They can be the next Tim and Sharon. They can go out there. You guys, you're giving, and if they don't want it, but you know you presented great, awesome. But for that person, if you present to 20 people and you got 2 people that are like, you know what, I'm going to do this, and they go out there, they get their power up, they get stuff for free, how you feel, it doesn't matter if that next presentation they say no, because it's not everyone's going to be doing it, you guys, but just you got to get the irons in the fire. People have stuff going on in their life. It's the summer. So you might do a crazy, awesome presentation, and people are about to go on holidays. So you don't want them to join before holidays. Let them come back. They get settled in. Kids are back in school. They get their business up and running. It's okay if they don't join on the spot either. It doesn't mean you presented bad. So I just want to, let's take a second. If Sharon and Jared, if you guys want to unmute, because you guys are 2 professional presenters that train on like the big stages, plus you're not nervous to like train in front of like, you know, thousands of people. I don't know if you guys just want to share what's on your heart, because like a lot of people are nervous to kind of step out there and get started for presenting.
Sure, I'll share for a second. What's on my heart, it's really cool actually, because this was something I learned a long time ago, and it was from Regional Vice President Tim Ranstad. And it was very unique because we were all done an ACN event, and I saw Tim pop into the bathroom and change his shirt. And I kind of asked him, well, like, what are you going to do? You're changed that quickly. And he said, well, you got to appeal to the crowd that you're going to be in front of. And we've got a meeting that we're heading to. And I don't want to be this dressed up because we're going to a picnic style meeting. And me being in a suit is not going to be advantageous to talking to the group of people. And, you know, fast forward to that to today, maybe it's not about you getting dressed because you're on a Zoom, but the language applies. You don't have to pretend to be a lawyer or a medical doctor or some big property investor. You know, I've got amazing people on my team that are much smarter than me, that earn way more money than I do. And it's because I was able to just be myself and show them what ACN can do for their business, for their lifestyle, for whatever they want to apply it to. So it really, you guys hit it home again tonight. It's not about being fancy. It's just being practical, pragmatic. Share the information and let them decide what they want to do with it. It's that simple.
Awesome. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared. That's powerful. And mom and dad, I want you guys to understand with my mom and dad, they like, we don't have a family business. They got their own business. You guys, they broke a record. They hit regional director in less than 30 days. It doesn't matter. They had experience. Y'all have experience now way longer than they ever did. They're the 2nd regional vice presidents in all of Western Canada. So take it away, Tim and Sharon.
I just want to say, Jared, that's so awesome. But look at how we've watched him grow. And Jared is on stage. And who knows what people say to people. It's just how you come across authentic, Jared. So though, yeah, that's awesome.
And I really appreciated, Jordanna, when you talked about the difference of doing a Zoom in a, you know, like at a regional or on a Zoom when you have a whole bunch of different people coming in. That's way different than doing one-on-one. And I think one-on-one, and it's like what Dom said, it's just so important to listen to them. I just remember we went to this one place on the north end, and the guy was so angry when he found out it was network marketing. So I just stopped and I asked him what was your experience? What happened? And so I let him vent, and he kind of got out what he didn't like about it. And so then he said, so how are you guys different? And then I went and just, keep watching his face and kind of went through the whole presentation, but with an aspect of, I'm not trying to convince him. I just want to show him how we were different. And by the end, I actually had changed his mind about network marketing. He never did join our team, but I left, like Jordanna said, making him feel that he was heard, and left him with increase. And then he became a customer.
Remember that Remy guy? We sat with him too. And again, he was negative and he was all jacked up, and Sharon says, well, you probably shouldn't join. And she was saying why he shouldn't. Well,
he ended up joining.
He joined
that night.
And best friend and his wife taught us how to make crepes.
Yeah.
So you got to give people an out.
And again, it's just knowing who, and the difference if we're sitting in front of a businessman. The businessman doesn't want to know fluff.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care if I make him, leave with increase. He just wanted to know the facts.
How much?
So just knowing who you're presenting to and how you're going to adjust the presentation to that person.
This was great training. This is awesome.
You know what? I want to jump in with Tim and Sharon. Tim and Sharon's downline represents the largest part of Jordanna and I's business, of all the different legs that we have. And you would think, like Jordanna said, and I'll speak for myself, as a son-in-law, and them being my, Jordanna, her parents, the dynamic would be maybe not easy to train and easy to grow and easy to work together. And I'll say this, like, Tim and Sharon are the most humble people. Like, I've worked with all different kinds of people, business owners, millionaires, you name it, in our business. Tim and Sharon are willing to ask what they can do better. They take notes. They show up. They're coachable. They ask how they did. I've got other people, and you wouldn't think that a son-in-law, mother-in-law, son-in-law, father-in-law dynamic would be like that, but they're two of the most extremely coachable people that I've ever met, willing to learn and grow and do the things that are necessary. And that's why they have the business that they do. I've got people that, again, they're the same age as me or younger, and they're not willing to take a single piece of advice. They don't want to hear. They don't want, I'll do it my way. When I need your help, I'll ask for it. And then here, it's no shock that Tim and Sharon have the largest part of our business, but it's humility and coachability that's caused them to be that way. They're not out there as rogue agents. Yeah. All right.
So
two more quick ones.
Sorry.
Number 7, be natural, excited, likable, and competent.
And we're going to do a bonus one that literally...
I want to define competent.
Oh, competent. Know how to read. Here's
what I mean by competent. Competent, I mean that you could look it up. But like when I see competence, here's the way I would define it in network marketing and presenting. Can they trust you with their contacts? The next question somebody's asking is they're thinking to themselves, if I put my people, my trusted contacts, my friends, my family, is this person going to embarrass me? Is this person going to make me look stupid? Is this person going to show up to a meeting unprepared? Is this person going to show up and not have answers? Are they going to be late to a meeting? What they're thinking in their head is, if I need to rely on this person, can I rely on them? So you have to be that type of person. You have to be competent. You have to be professional. And again, that doesn't mean suit and tie, but that means that can the people on your team trust you? Last one, bonus one.
Okay. And that's why, guys, attending, Wednesday, or if you're attending, right, the Canada Wides, like attend when you can, because what if somebody has a guest on, the reason why they come on, it's usually a second exposure, and it's for social proof. So if you can show your video, look, there's times where I don't got no makeup on, and that is not going to be good social proof for anybody, okay? But if you can come on and show your video, because a lot of times people are just coming on to be like, are these actual humans doing ACM, right? Like, just as like that simple. So if you do come on any of the Canada Wides, any Wednesday, just show your face when you can. As a bonus, we have been saying this since literally week 1. And at first, I remember the first couple of years, because like my mom and dad right away, they're like, critique us. So like, and then Dom's like, are you sure? So like right away that, and the only person who at the beginning recorded himself and sent it, not a shock, Richard Griffith. little ETL Richard Griffith. We should find it. I'm sure we have it.
That's a bonus tip.
And that's a bonus tip. We told everyone, record it and send it to us. Because when you record yourself, you hear your own voice. We already know that's like a weird thing. Okay. So that's your voice will sound weird to you. It doesn't sound weird to all of us. We love your voice. But record yourself and you can just watch it yourself, or you can record it and you can send it to your upline if you want, or send it to us. But just record it and watch it back, because there's going to be stuff, even me and Dom, he has to edit all his stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, he'll say certain things. I know I say certain things, or if I'm like breathing weird, I'm like, you guys. So when you listen to yourself, you're like, Jordanna, if you say you guys one more time. So it might be something like that, not even how you present, but little like mannerisms that you have.
And record the video so you can see your body language. So you can see like, oh my gosh, I'm not smiling. Holy smokes, do I look mad? Why do I look mad? Why do I look mad? Like, you're looking at yourself and you're thinking, just be happy. So you're seeing what the other person's seeing in the mirror. So that's why it's so important to record yourself. And it's such, I'll tell you, if you did it 3 times, you will grow by leaps and bounds. If you record yourself 3 times and watch it back and force yourself to listen to it, you're going to be like, I need to get, you'll see immediately what you need to improve, and you won't need somebody to. Go ahead, Jared.
I just want to share a little funny, I guess. This was during the presentation for the TELUS merger back in Calgary there. And we had some pretty big people in the room, and Al Asensio was one of them. And he came up to me after the presentation. He thanked me for the presentation, told me how great of a job I was, or that I did. And then he offered, some feedback if I was open to it. And he had told me that I had used the phrase, that being said, 9 times during my whole stage presence during the whole presentation. And it was great feedback, because I probably rarely say it now during a presentation. And if I do, it's maybe once or twice. So it's changed it for me. And so that's the type of thing that feedback can really, it's very useful information for sure.
That's great, Jared. That's a great, and it's the fastest way to learn. Is to have somebody either watch your presentation or record it and you watch it back, send it to your upline. Again, if you have to record yourself and send it to your RVP or SVP, you're going to do a good job. You don't want to send them a terrible one.
And so, with that being said, number 1, we're always here to present, so don't be shy. That changes nothing. But number 2,
we are here to help you.
Number 2, we don't want it to be Dom and Jordanna every Wednesday, because we know we're cute. We're not that cute. Okay, so we want to, we're going to start next week.
You sure about that?
Sharon's up. Put her on the spot. But let's say some of you guys are like, well, I don't like, and we also understand on a Wednesday night, you're like, what if I mess up and Johnny brings on his top guest? You want to, right? So you still have to be competent to be on a Wednesday. I'll be very clear about that. But let's say if you're like, hey, but I know I could start, I could do the intro, I could do the background of the company, and then just throw it to who's ever presenting. Like you can do like one slide, like just to like kind of get it out of the way. Or if you feel like David, remember David did the front half? The front half or the back half, but he crushed it. And just like the response, like me and Dom will be done presenting. No one is like, good job, guys. Okay. David was done. Threads lighting up. Everything's lighting up. Why? Because you guys, that's more exciting for people to be like, you don't need to hear Dom and Jordanna one more time. Okay. So we're going to start to get more people up. And so Jared, if you ever want to present too, so we're going to start to get, we want to make sure that there's more voices than just ours.
You hear that, Jared?
Okay. So we'll budget.
Okay. All right. So,
and Jennifer, because Jennifer did awesome. So on Saturday, her and Dom, and so I was like, because we didn't want to overwhelm them, so I just like sat on the floor.
I'll give some praise to Jennifer. She's a really good example of, again, kindness and likability.
So genuine.
So like, she's a very kind, very likable person, and just naturally somebody wants to be nice to her. Somebody wants to be kind to her. Like, she's the type of person where you're like, you never want to be mean, you never want to say anything mean. Just being kind and likable goes so far.
Yeah.
And in a presentation, again, they don't remember 80% of the data. They're just thinking to themselves, do I want to see this person? Do I want to see their face every day? Or is this going to be annoying?
Yeah.
So,
and just on the practical side, so she started it, right? Dom was presenting, and then Jennifer's like, hey, can I jump in here? Like, yeah. And so like, it was like conversational, right? Like, so again, if you're at the point where like, we're not saying go do the whole presentation. If you don't want to either, you're a grown up. We're all business partners. So like, we would never ever make someone who doesn't want to. But once you do, and you realize that like, you quickly will get over that learning curve, but you'll feel really proud about yourself. And then again, right? Like just other people hearing we all hearing each other present. it gets everyone just like refired up and remotivated again. So
Yeah.
anyways, we love you all. And Saturday, Canada-wide, 9 a.m. The link is on the app. It's on the web pages. It's on the screen. It's on the WhatsApp thread. And then Monday nights we have the study, which is personal development. So you guys know it's like a mindset, but we just like don't use bad books. We use the best book, where every personal development book, all of them, The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, where they all got it from, is actually the Bible, if you didn't know that. So come on Mondays. It's super practical. It's not woo-woo church, okay? If you want to see what it is, go on the app. You can look at it. And Morocco. Okay. So if you need to go, you can go. But for Morocco, I just want you guys to understand. So in the it's in the back office now, is in the email. So for regional director, for the points, you can count 25% of the points from your downline. So I think the exact number is like, so I think like 900 and some can be above an RD. So like this, I'm like, how are they going to track it? But so let's say if Jared has an RD on his team and the RD puts in for the first 25% of those 1,200 points, he can use the RD beneath, like on his team, their points. Same thing with RVP. So 25, so the exact number is in the email in the back office. Does that make sense? It's the first time they've done this. So your open line is 75% of the points. Your closed line is 3,000. So we have to check. So for example, Chris Ryder sponsored Gaia Galito. She's in his closed line. So for his 25 points, we are just going to confirm that because she is an RVP, not an RD. If he can count 25% of that, that makes sense. Put your hand up if you have a question. I can, but anyway, so it's kind of cool. So anyways, those you or just hit RVP, you guys go to Morocco. Arlington, anyone going to Arlington, it's September 26th. That's the official launch of Dingo Blue. But this week was the pretend launch of Dingo Blue with some of the leaders. They got their cards and stuff like that too. So in America, you guys, they literally have their Dingo Blue card. Dom was like, they got Dingo Blue pens. And Dom was so jealous about the notebooks and the pens and the wallet. I'm like, bro, how about the actual cards? That's pretty cool. So anything you want to say?
No.
We're good. Wrap it up.
Looking for a Jeff. Just a reminder, the app, if you can't make a training, we got it all in the app. So jump into the app, take a course. If you haven't taken lessons in leadership, if you haven't taken any of the leadership courses, jump back into those. There are some great stuff in there. I'm going to stop talking. Thanks for coming on. If you got any questions, feel free to unmute.
And have a great summer.
We're done.
And when you're on holidays, be on holidays, talk to people, but don't be stressed about your business.
Thanks for coming on. If we're done for this evening, if you got questions, feel free to jump in the chat, unmute yourself. Questions about the business, questions about presenting, about anything, feel free.
Going once. Going twice.
All right.
Oh, and Brad, is he on still? Or did he just log off? I was going to tell him he just logged off. I was going to tell him about my mom and dad are being like, Brad got a new cat for when pet insurance launches. Timmy and Sharon rescued 2 little wild kitties. They're just getting ready for pet insurance. They're like, build it and they will come. So they're trying.
Shaking my head.
They're really cute kitties. Okay.
Bye,
See you guys. Have a good night.